Hey kiddos, it's Mrs. Gershon here. Your writing assignment this week is to write a letter to a student in next year's third grade class. You're going to give them a little background about some of the things that you got to do in third grade that were maybe different from any other year before this. And also, what we'll be doing is we'll be printing these letters out and we'll be putting them on their desks for the first day of school, just like what was done for you this past year. If you think all the way back to the first day of school, it feels so long ago, but you had a letter waiting on your desk from a fourth grade student letting you know some of the things that you could expect in third grade. So I wanted to be able to do a little brainstorming with you today. So what I did was I created a Google Doc. I went into my Drive. You folks have been doing this for a little while now. You can create a new document, and I put our heading and our closer here for you. Dear future third grader and your friend Mrs. Gershon. I'm going to do some writing inside of this letter today to help you with some brainstorming that we could do. And we're expecting you to follow the paragraphs that we're doing. So like our first paragraph is going to be about academics. Those are things that you learned in third grade. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just write here paragraph 1, okay? And I'm going to write academics. This is not what you need to write on yours. I'm just doing a little note taking here. Okay, so what are some things that we learn in third grade that maybe you don't learn in have not learned in other classes? For instance, in math, I'm thinking about learning multiplication. You learned fractions this year. That's a little bit different. In reading, you read a lot more chapter books. And your read alouds were chapter books as well. So that may have been different from second grade. Also, thinking about the fact that you were starting to learn cursive this year. That's completely different. I know in second you started, but you went through and learned all of your lowercase letters or close. We were close to that before we had to head out. Let me just erase this. Here we go. Move this back up here. So multiplication, fractions, chapter books, cursive. In writing, you really learned how to write in paragraphs this year. That was new. And you can also think about under academics how we learned in our classroom. This was the first year that you folks had desks instead of tables and really had your own materials. So that's something you can talk to third graders about, things that they can expect. Okay, so let's go ahead and switch over. Let's think about like our specials. Something different this year for our paragraph 2. And maybe some things that you can do after school that you haven't been able to do before. So first of all, in third grade, you don't have HP anymore. But we do have STEM during science. That was something new for you this year. So you were still able to go see Mr. Beeson, and you had these STEM units, and you can talk about how you got to work with the spheros and how you got to build bridges out of gumdrops and learn some coding and robotics along the way there. Another special that's new for you guys is foreign language. You can talk to them about learning Spanish and French, and you can maybe even talk to them about what your favorite was. Also this year, you had the opportunity to join chorus for the first time. So that's something you can talk to them about as well, something that they get to look forward to. And then we're going to have a final paragraph. We're going to have a closing paragraph. So let's go ahead and change our colors here. A nice closing paragraph would be something like, I hope you have a great year in third grade. Maybe even because of our circumstances and what we've been going through, maybe even talking about the fact that hopefully you get to start school in the classroom, or hopefully you get to stay in school for the whole year, unlike this year. But some sort of like giving them best wishes. So something like, I hope you have a wonderful year in third grade. You can say, you will have fun. I promise, or something like that. Okay, something to just kind of wrap it up, but leaving them on a positive note and excited to start their third grade career with us. Kiddos, these are just suggestions. If you have other things that you want to tell a third grader for next year, things that they can expect in third grade, please feel free. You do not need to keep it to just the things that I brainstormed here. These are ideas just to help you in case you come to a part of the letter that you are unsure of what to say. But think about it. Think about the person who's going to be reading this letter. They're a new student to the classroom. They're just coming back after a lot of time after school. How can we make it so they can get excited about being in third grade? And you folks were wonderful third graders this year, so it would be really nice for you to leave a positive message for those students who are coming up. All right, kiddos, don't forget, open up your drive, start a new document, and happy writing.